Hey everyone! So this is my client Summer. So she's come in with dark blonde hair, quite browny, and she's wanting to go as blonde as possible with a beautiful natural finish. So today we're going to be doing a full head of foils on her, and then we're going to be colour melting straight over the top. So I'm starting off with some thicker weaves, going all up through the back. I'm doing quite a big weave because I want it to be as light as possible, and I'm really not that fast about it being too close to the root at this point. Obviously, like I said, I'm going to be going back in and root smudging and blending it all back out anyway. So my priority at this point is just getting her as blonde as possible on those ends. So you're just doing the same technique really all up through the back of the head. Quite small sections but big weaves. You don't need to be too neat because, like I said, you are just going to be going back over it anyway, so you're kind of just wasting your time. So I just took you through what I'm going to be doing in a little minute. So the first thing I'm doing, like I said, is going through and adding those thick weaves through the back. Then through the top, I'm going to be doing some medium slices. So I'm going to be adding more brightness through the top and more contrast. And then I'm going to go back to weaving through the sides because I don't want any harsh lines. I personally really like slicing through the top because I think it really adds definition and it gets really close to the root, and I think it does make the hair pop. And then once all of that's developed, then I'm going to go back through, adding root colour back along all of the parting, and then I'm going to tone out all the ends to make it as ashy and as pearly as what I can. And another little thing that you'll see me do in this video is I'm going to backcomb all of the hair that's left out of the foils, and I'm just going to add a bit more blonde just to the ends of her hair. Okay, so I fast forwarded the video a little bit for you here, so I'm right up near the top. And you can see I'm still doing the same thing. Okay, so now that all of the back's done, I'm going to backcomb all of the hair left out of the foils on the back, and then I'm going to blend in some lightener into the ends of her hair, going up into the backcombing, and I'm going to really make those ends pop. So the reason I've not gone through the whole head before I start backcombing is because I want all of the back of her hair to develop at the same time, and if I was to do the front and the top of her hair in foils and then go back through everything, she may end up with brassy ends, and that's really not what I want. So I've decided to do the back first and then continue with my foils once I've done that. You'll also notice that it really doesn't take that long to backcomb it. It really is a quick process. I've not done too heavy a backcombing through it, I've just done quite a light backcomb, and like you see, I can just put the lightener onto the ends and then blend it up into the backcombing. It's really nice and easy and is a good technique. So the reason I chose to do this video over doing like a balayage is because I do want to incubate that bleach, and I really want to make it as bright as what I can. And secondly, I feel like a lot of people are really concerned about doing freehand painting on their clients, and I feel like they've got comfort in foils, so I thought I'd do a little video that can show you something a bit more natural but keep it within your comfort zone. Okay, so I'm moving on through the top now. I do the top before the sides because I want the sides to process last. Again, because I want the top to be as bright as possible, but I also don't want to over process the fine pieces of hair around the front. So with your slices, I normally take them about the same size as what I would take a weave, and then I just cut that straight in half or slice it straight in half, and then I apply my lightener and then fold it up. It's really quite easy. You don't want your slices to be too thick because you don't want to create a real chunky heavy look, but you don't want them to be too thin that you can't really see them either. And you're just going to continue slicing all the way through that top profile section. So keep on going, guys. I know it's a bit tedious getting all the way through this hair and not doing all of these foils, but it really does give a nice result in the end. Okay, so now I've moved on to the sides, and again I've gone back to my weave. You don't want your weave to be too heavy on the sides because you don't want it to look chunky or blocky. But again, you want to make sure you get as much brightness around the face as what you can, so don't take them too fine either. So if you're doing this technique on your client, you do need to make them aware that it is going to take quite a long time, because you are technically doing 2 colour surfaces. You're doing pretty much a full head foils, and then you're going to be doing a full head colour straight on top. So you're doing a double process. So just make sure they don't think it's going to be a quick in and out service. And now, once I've got my top and my side foils in, I'm just going through any of the remaining hair left outside of the foils, back combing it, and applying my lightener to the ends again. And don't worry, this process is really quite quick. With this application as well, I didn't use clay bleach. I used just normal bleach because I wanted it to lift as much as it possibly could. And then after foils, I've allowed it to develop, and now I'm going through after washing it and applying my root smudge and my toner to the ends. So you can see I'm taking quite big sections. I'm just going through and tapping the colour onto the roots, and then I'm going through the ends and applying my toner, and then I'm just smudging the two together. I've seen some stylists like to put their root smudge on and then let it develop for a little while and then go through and add in the toner to the ends. I personally don't like to do that because I think it gives a bit more of a solid line. So I like to smudge them at the same time. So put the roots on and then the toner and then smudge them together. And then you're pretty much just doing this all the way up through the hair. So with my client, because she wanted to be quite blonde, I went for a 7 ash on her root colour, and I went for a pearly, I believe it was a 9 on the ends, and then I've just blended them together. I've not gone too dark on her root smudge because she did want it to pop and she doesn't want too much of a shadow root. So a 7 should blend out any harsh lines, but without adding too much depth. And make sure you're really working that product into the hair as well. Don't leave it patchy, you really need to smudge it all in and create a seamless blend. Be really careful as well of getting your root colour on the ends. Obviously the root colour is going to be darker than your toner colour on the ends, so you don't want any little splodges or anything, so make sure you're working really tidily. And always label your bulbs as well, guys. You don't want to pick up the wrong colour for the wrong area. Okay, so finish the whole head, go through, let it develop for 20 minutes, and then blow dry and style your hair. And this is what the result's going to look like. It's beautiful, isn't it? So you can see the hair really pops. It's so much brighter, so much lighter than when she first came in. It's got a beautiful blend to it, and it's just absolutely stunning.